All right, get ready for this. Did you know that according to some ancient Hindu scriptures, the creator of the entire universe is, well, residing inside your heart right now? And here's the kicker. He's said to be exactly the size of your thumb. Yeah, you heard that right. This incredible claim, it's at the center of a really profound spiritual secret that we're going to unpack today. I know, it sounds incredible, doesn't it? But this isn't some new age idea. This is straight from the source. It's a direct quote from the Kashataki Brahmana Upanishad, a really ancient Hindu text. It says it right there. The individual soul, that little divine spark inside us, is measured by the thumb. It's this simple but totally astonishing claim that is the mystery we're really digging into. And of course, this leads us right to the central question, right? It's this beautiful paradox that sages have been wrestling with for thousands of years. How can something that's described as infinite, everywhere at once, completely immeasurable, how can that possibly fit inside the tiny physical space of your heart? I mean, let alone be compared to something as small as a thumb. It seems impossible. Okay, so to even begin to answer this, we have to look at where these ancient scriptures actually point us. And what's fascinating is they don't tell us to look up to the heavens or out at the stars. Nope. They tell us to look inwards. Texts like the Kathopanishad guide us to a really specific internal spot, what they call the sacred cave of the heart. So that's our starting point. And get this, the texts even give this inner light a specific name, Parama Purusha, which means the supreme person. So we're not talking about some vague, fuzzy energy here. It's described as a real, tangible form, a brilliant, dazzling light that's given these specific dimensions for a very clear reason, so it can be located and become a focus for meditation, deep inside that inner cave. So you might be wondering, okay, is this thumb-sized measurement just a one-off metaphor, a fluke? Not at all. As we start to dig a little deeper, we find that this whole idea of using the human hand as a kind of sacred spiritual ruler, well, it's actually a recurring theme. It's a pattern. And this idea is definitely not isolated. There's another huge text, the Srimad Bhagavata, and it describes a very similar meditative practice. What this does is it reinforces the idea that the ancient sages were intentionally using the human hand as a tool for spiritual visualization. And this is just a brilliant illustration of the point. Now, here, the measurement is a little different. It's the span from your little finger to your thumb, but the principle, it's exactly the same. The immeasurable, infinite divine is being given a tangible, human-scale dimension. It's located in the heart, and it's done specifically for the purpose of meditation. Now, what's really important to understand is what this form actually represents. It's known as the inner controller. Think of it as the personal, accessible version of the otherwise formless, vast, supreme being. So this isn't the totality of the divine, but it's a specific manifestation, one that's designed to be a focal point, a guide for anyone on a spiritual path. And this brings us right back, face to face, with the huge philosophical puzzle at the heart of all this. How do we reconcile these two things that seem like complete opposites? On one hand, you have the supreme being described as boundless, and on the other, it's contained and absolutely tiny. I mean, you can really see the stark contrast here. On one side, you have the supreme being, all-pervasive, infinite, formless, totally beyond our comprehension. But on the other side, that exact same reality is described as the soul within us, localized, thumb-sized, and meant to be a focus for meditation. So how can both of these things possibly be true? But here's the key. This paradox, it isn't a mistake. It's not a flaw in the logic. It's actually a central feature of Vedic thought. And this beautiful quote just captures it perfectly. Far away from the far distant, but nearer than the nearest. You see, the most vast cosmic reality is also the most intimate and the most immediate one. The large and the small, they're not opposites. They're just two sides of the same divine coin. All right, so let's really unravel this now. If it's not a contradiction, then what is the profound purpose behind this riddle? Why would they present the infinite in such a finite, kind of peculiar way? Well, this is where we get to the core revelation. The scriptures give us this concept called Daharakasha. It literally translates to the small space. Now, this refers to the sacred chamber inside the heart. And here's the really mind-bending part. The texts say that this tiny inner space is actually just as vast and cosmic as the infinite space outside of us. They say it contains the heavens, the earth, the sun, the stars, everything. The microcosm is the macrocosm. So, how is that possible? Well, a really helpful metaphor is the concept of bindu, the metaphysical point. Just try to imagine the entire universe, everything, collapsing into a single point. A point with zero dimension, but infinite potential. It's the ultimate symbol of concentrated power. See, the infinite doesn't need infinite space to exist. All of its power can be held within a single potent seed. And so this is it. This is the aha moment. Why a thumb-sized form? Well, for one, it makes the abstract, formless divine accessible. I mean, you can't really meditate on everything, can you? But you can meditate on a point of light in your heart. Second, it's a practical tool to help concentrate the mind. Third, it's a powerful symbol that the small really does contain the large. And finally, all of this. It's designed to lead you to that ultimate realization. Tat Twam Asi, you are that. That the light inside you is the light of the entire cosmos. So let's bring all of this together. What does this ancient, kind of mystical concept mean for you right now, right now? What's the personal takeaway from this incredible teaching? Here's what I want you to take away from this. The next time you look at your thumb, I want you to try and see it differently. It's not just a digit on your hand. Think of it as an ancient sacred ruler, a tangible measure that was given to us by the sages to remind you of the infinite brilliant light that lives right inside your own chest. And you know, this is the ultimate comfort and empowerment of this teaching. The supreme power isn't some external authority in a far-off heaven that you have to somehow reach. It's right here. It's present. It is as close, as constant, and as vital as your own heartbeat. You are literally carrying the universe within you. So, I'll leave you with this one thought. After everything we've talked about today, from these ancient texts to the paradox of the infinite, the next time you happen to glance down at your own hand, what are you going to see? Just a thumb? Or maybe a measure of the divine?